Greeting and blessings, dear listeners. Welcome to the Bible Knowledge Quiz. In today's ultimate quiz, we've curated 20 enlightening questions to test your understanding and deepen your connection with the Holy Scriptures. Are you ready to put your biblical knowledge to the ultimate test? Here we go. Question 1. Who built the first temple in Jerusalem? A. King David. B. King Solomon. C. King Hezekiah. D. King Ahab. Time to think. The right answer is option B, King Solomon. 1 Kings 6:1, KJV. And it came to pass in the 480th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the 4th year of Solomon's reign over Israel, that he began to build the house of the Lord. Question 2. What are the Beatitudes, and in which book of the New Testament are they found? A. Acts. B. Romans. C. Matthew. D. Revelation. Time to think. The right answer is option C, Matthew. Matthew 5:3-12, KJV. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. And continuing through verse 12, Jesus delivers the Beatitudes as part of the Sermon on the Mount. Question 3. In the book of Acts, who was struck blind on the road to Damascus? A. Peter. B. John. C. Saul. D. Barnabas. Time to think. The right answer is option C, Saul, Acts 9:3-9 KJV. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven, and he fell to the earth, and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me? Question 4. Who is the only woman whose age is mentioned in the Bible? A. Ruth. B. Esther. C. Sarah. D. Mary. Time to think. The right answer is option C, Sarah, Genesis 23:1, KJV. And Sarah was 107 and 20 years old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. Question 5. What did King Solomon ask for from God in a dream at Gibeon? A. Power. B. Wealth. C. Wisdom. D. Long life. Time to think. The right answer is option C, wisdom. 1 Kings 3:9, KJV. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy so great a people? Question 6. Who was the mother of John the Baptist? A. Elizabeth. B. Mary. C. Martha. D. Anna. Time to think. The right answer is option A, Elizabeth. Luke 1:13, KJV. But the angel said unto him, Fear not, Zacharias, for thy prayer is heard, and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son, and thou shalt call his name John. Question 7. In the Gospel of Matthew, who visits Jesus at his birth besides the shepherds? A. Tax collectors. B. Wise men. C. Soldiers. D. Fishermen. Time to think. The right answer is option B, wise men. Matthew 2:1 KJV. Now when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. Question 8. Which book of the Bible describes the end of the Babylonian captivity and the decree to rebuild Jerusalem? A. Daniel. B. Nehemiah. C. Ezra. D. Esther. Time to think. The right answer is option C, Ezra. Ezra 1:1-2, KJV. Now in the first year of Cyrus king of Persia, that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah might be fulfilled, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus king of Persia, that he made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying, Thus saith Cyrus king of Persia, The Lord God of heaven hath given me all the kingdoms of the earth, and he hath charged me to build him an house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Question 9. In what language was the Old Testament primarily written? A. Greek. B. Latin. C. Aramaic. D. Hebrew. Time to think. The right answer is option D, Hebrew. The Old Testament was primarily written in Hebrew, with some parts in Aramaic. Question 10. Who wrote the majority of the Proverbs? A. King Saul. B. King David. C. King Solomon. D. Prophet Elijah. Time to think. The right answer is option C, King Solomon, Proverbs 1:1 KJV. The Proverbs of Solomon the son of David, king of Israel. Question 11. What were the names of Abraham's two sons? A. Ishmael and Isaac. B. Jacob and Esau. C. Cain and Abel. D. Joseph and Benjamin. Time to think. The right answer is option A, Ishmael and Isaac, Genesis 16:15, KJV, for Ishmael, and Genesis 21:3, KJV, for Isaac. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare to him, Isaac. Question 12. Which book of the New Testament is a sermon that expounds upon Old Testament law? A. Romans. B. Hebrews. C. James. D. Galatians. Time to think. The right answer is option B, Hebrews. The book of Hebrews extensively discusses and interprets the Old Testament, especially the law, in light of the new covenant through Christ. Question 13. What did Jesus turn into wine at the wedding in Cana? A. Water. B. Milk. C. Juice. D. Oil. Time to think. The right answer is option A, water, John 2:7-9, KJV. Jesus saith unto them, Fill the water pots with water. And they filled them up to the brim, when the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine. Question 14. Who were the four major prophets of the Old Testament? A. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel. B. Samuel, Nathan, Elijah, Elisha. C. Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah. D. Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk. Time to think. The right answer is option A, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Daniel. These are traditionally known as the major prophets due to the length and depth of their writings. Question 15. According to the Gospels, how many times did Peter deny Jesus before the rooster crowed? A. 1. B. 2. C. 3. D. 4. Time to think. The right answer is option C, 3. Matthew 26:34, KJV. Jesus said unto him, Verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. Question 16. What New Testament book addresses the concept of faith without works being dead? A. Romans. B. Ephesians. C. James. D. Galatians. Time to think. The right answer is option C, James. James 2:17, KJV. Even so faith, if it hath not works, is dead, being alone. Question 17. What is the only book of the Bible that does not contain the word God? A. Esther. B. Ruth. C. Song of Solomon. D. Ecclesiastes. Time to think. The right answer is option A, Esther. The book of Esther is notable for not directly mentioning God, yet it illustrates God's providence throughout the narrative. Question 18. Where did Moses flee to after killing an Egyptian? A. Midian. B. Canaan. C. Goshen. D. Sinai. Time to think. The right answer is option A, Midian. Exodus 2:15, KJV. When Pharaoh heard of this matter, he sought to slay Moses, but Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Question 19. In which book would you find the Hall of Faith listing the heroes of the faith? A. Romans. B. Hebrews. C. 1 Corinthians. D. James. Time to think. The right answer is option B, Hebrews. Hebrews 11, KJV. This chapter is often referred to as the Faith Hall of Fame, listing the Old Testament figures who acted by faith. Question 20. Who was the shortest reigning king of Judah, and how long was his reign? A. Jehoahaz, 3 months. B. Zimri, 7 days. C. Jehoiakim, 3 months and 10 days. D. Jehoram, 1 year. Time to think. The right answer is option A, Jehoahaz, 3 months. 2 Kings 23:31, KJV. Jehoahaz was 20 and 3 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 3 months. Wow, what a spiritual expedition we've embarked on together. How did your journey unfold? Let's connect and comment below with the number of questions you got right. Your insights and interactions make our community stronger. Subscribe on our channel and stay on the journey with us for the latest updates. If this quiz has brightened your mind, please show your support with a thumbs up, and why not sharing this video with your loved ones? Thank you for spending this time with us. Until we meet again, let the light of the Word guide your way.